Music, since the beginning of time,
has been an art style, a way of expressing feeling, and even a passion. For hundreds of years, music has been evolving, molding in what we listen to on the radio every day. But the question that continues to come up is whether or not acoustic music will vanish with the usage of modern-day instruments, such as DJ machines, computer programs.
More importantly, how are people taking this radical change, and will this affect the originality of how music is made? Today, we venture through the diverse and wild streets of Northern California in hope of discovering what people think of the evolution of music.
Today I have questions on music. So, do you believe that today's music is headed in a good direction with the usage of more computer and less actual musical instruments like an acoustic instrument?
I think it really depends, it varies. There's a lot of things that electronic music can do, like you can produce an album a lot quicker with, say, pre-programmed drums as opposed to actually recording drums or other parts, and it gives another dynamic to music because you can create new sounds that nobody's ever heard before.
Well, I've been listening to electronic music all my life, and I think that even though acoustics sound well, I think electronic music is carrying it into a great new direction.
What I like about the change is that, number one, artists have a lot easier to make their records and get their music out, CSM Records. Used to be you had to get a demo together, have it recorded decently, hope that there was some guy at the radio station like myself that might give it a listen. Then you had to worry about getting a contract. You don't have to do any of that shit anymore. Sorry.
If music continues to change in this manner with computing, do you think acoustic instruments are going to diminish or at one point become like extinct, I guess?
I don't think so. There'll always be someone that, that's going to learn how to play the instruments and actually want to perform them. I don't think that it'll ever go away, especially with, like piano. That's something that's never going to go away.
What I think is acoustic instruments will always live on.
I can't give you a reason. I feel so.
They may change, and they might even hybridize with some electronic instruments, like the guitar. But I think the acoustic instruments won't die in the end, and in fact will go really well with.
What do you think about music sampling in studios? I know you sort of already answered this. Do you think it takes away from the originality of the music, or do you think it adds on?
Let's kick it.
It all depends on the kind of music, because if you look at bands like, let's say, 9 Inch Nails, they sample just random noises. They don't use, they're not out sampling other people's work. They're making their own samples out of random sounds and strings of sounds and things like that. Whereas some of the hip hop or rap, they're basically just straight up sampling other people's music and just using it for their own work, which I think that diminishes creativity.
Taking real world sounds and blending it into electronic or bland music, I'm a complete fan of. I don't mind hearing recurring sounds in some songs, but just grabbing the backtrack of a song and then singing in front of it, that's not very good.
Well, it's funny because years ago I asked Africa Bambaataa what he thought about, the whole Soul Sonic Force got sued for using a Kraftwerk sample. Now, he told me Kraftwerk, the band, loved the fact that their music wound up as a hip-hop sample, but it was the record label, the people that owned all the rights to the music, that made the big fuss about, the artist isn't getting compensated. Music supposedly started at the people, and it's supposed to be available. That doesn't mean anybody can just steal anybody's music or rip.
System ready. Awaiting final command.
Music continues to change in this manner. Do you think acoustic instruments will diminish?
No, I don't think acoustic instruments will ever become obsolete or diminished. They have a place in our culture and our history, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. Just like, you know, people still play vinyl records, and people still, you know, some people still use like tape.